Welcome back, guys. This is what you asked for, a quick review on the Baja Boss. Hey, I don't think you guys will be disappointed. Stick around. Hey guys, this is going to be a quick update video and really just a kind of a quick review on these tires. Now I only have about 1,100 miles on them total, and this is the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss. And before I say any more, yes, it's a quick update, and the reason being is because I just don't find anything out there about these tires, or not much. And then secondly, I've been asked by some of the guys that follow the channel. So, again, Mickey Thompson Baja Boss, it's a 37, 12, 50, 17 in this form factor here. And first of all, I want to just start off by saying they're absolutely incredible. They're absolutely incredible. We ran them on a Jeep one time for a specific trip, and that trip ended up becoming a nightmare, to say the very least. And what I'll tell you is they saw highway, they saw, on their very first run, they saw highway, they saw air pressures down to 12 PSI on a stock rim, so it's about an 8.5 inch rim, no bead lock. They also saw rain, sleet, rock, shell, and then all sorts of river sand, river rock, dirt, and mountain environments. So, first of all, on the road, fur is aggressive. I don't know if you guys can see the siping and the lobes on these things, but they're aggressive, they're huge. And if you look at all the tires out there, including the side biters, the lugs are some of the tallest lugs. I think they're in the top 2 or 3 lugs available in an MT. So you're paying for a tire, but you're also getting far more tread on that tire. Highway manners. They're incredibly a flat tire. You can see that they present themselves flat, unlike a Patagonia that's got an oval. This is a flat tire, so you would feel you'd have more bump steer or you'd have more pulling. You don't notice any. And I was on a Jeep. I do have electro over hydro assist steering, but that being said, I didn't feel a lot of pulling and yanking. I was also taking a trailer, and we'll get to that later. Anyway, as far as on-road manners, very good. They handled, we were doing 65 miles an hour down the highway with pulling a trailer in some pretty significant rains at some points, and I never felt any hydroplaning. So they did really well in the water category, because a lot of times MTs don't do so well because they don't siphon the water very fast. So I'll say that they were better than expected. And a lot of that is because the huge voids in between the lugs, and secondly, the sheer height of the lugs. Again, if you go and look at other tires that you compare to this tire, and this is an MS tire as well, the lugs are smaller and shorter. So that's something to be said right there, first of all. Secondly, the side biters are certainly some of the tallest, period, out there. And so that helped in the trip as well. In this trip, like I said, I had a loaded trailer. I had myself, my girlfriend, our 2-year-old, and a dog in a Jeep, plus its normal gear. Super heavy. The first thing we come to is a sheer 3-foot face, and I have no lockers. The Jeep has had a malfunction on the trail, and we lose all lockers. So these right here alone, pulled that JLU and that trailer, and it's in a video, up that 3-foot face. Now, did I have to bang on it a little bit? Yes, I did. But we're talking about a sheer face, completely flush, no way to go left or right, barbed wire fence on the right side and the left side. You literally couldn't go anywhere. It was a channel between 2 pieces of property. And the only option was to do it. And so we did it. And even my girlfriend was honestly amazed that we were able to make it up with some higher revving, but they pulled. Now, would that have been easier with just about any tire if I had lockers? Yep, pretty much easy. Do I think many vehicles could have done that same thing with The same scenario with the trailer and stuff and gotten up it without lockers and without these tires, I don't know that it would have been that easy. I can just say that. You guys know from watching my channel, I do a whole lot of work on communication towers and all over the state of Texas, and I've been doing this this kind of driving and stuff for over 20 years now, and I've been through every gauntlet of BFGs, Coopers, Bridgestone, the Duratrax, an enormous amount of tires, and these have impressed me more than just about any tire in the last 10 years. Second to them would probably be the Patagonia, because its simplicity and how well it actually works, even as simplistic as it is, along with the cheap price, it really works that well. The competitor to this that I would say is a really good competitor to this, but still not as good as probably the Toyota Open Country. So on the highway for an aggressive MT, I am hands down giving this thing a 9. The 10 would be because there is a slight hum, and that was, you know, slight at most. Off-road. First of all, the carcass of these things are incredibly strong, and this new sidewall they built in with the polymer XD component, and it's made a difference as far as the toughness and also its ability to flex. So it's really tough, first of all, and that's what you want. But at the same time, you want that same tough tire not to take gashes or penetrations or sticks or rocks, but at the same time to have flex. That's kind of hard to do. That's why they came up with this polymer XD. It is amazing. I will say this: it is a low range D tire, and it's a slightly heavy tire, but all that being said, you get exactly out of a low range D tire what you should. And so they didn't cut any corners. It doesn't underperform in any means when it comes to a heavy duty tire. Off-road, rock, amazing. Minimal marks, if in any. And I'll show you these lugs. And again, everything we were doing was sheer rock, flat rock, and then shell. And I would have assumed at 12 PSI, I would have seen far more damage. After 1,100 miles, their very first trip, most of these rubber, I don't know what you want to call them, little rubber titties on this tire are still there. So they withstood a lot of highway and a lot of beating, because remember that entire trip, it was another 3-day trip, and only about 400 miles of it out of 1,100 miles was on highway. The rest of it was all dirt and rock. And so to be able to withstand all of that and be in this position after that, I was pretty impressed. Off-road, I'll give them a 10. Rocks, I'll give them a 10. And especially when I give them a 10 in rocks, what I'm specifically talking about is wet rock. These things climbed just as good when it was raining in the rock with the flash coming down as they did when it was dry. Not to mention when they got heated up. When they got heated up, they were magnificent. But standard temperature, they climbed really well. In wet, with rain actively coming down, they were incredible. Far more grip than anything I've ever seen. And again, I've got Wild Peaks there, I've got MTs there, I've got KO2s there. I'm running MT, the Toyos on my big F350. So I got a lot of active fingers in the fire right now, and I'm telling you, performed hands down better than any of those tires. Wild Peak are good tires as well, but all those, in my opinion, right now are second to none. I'm running the 40s, and the 40s are what's going to go in the Gladiator 40-inch beadlocks. Those are in Patagonia. The only reason I haven't changed them out yet is because they only have about 2,500 miles on them. The minute those 40-inch Patagonias go out, I'll be buying these. I will be buying a set of these in 40 to put on the new Gladiator, because again, there's just nothing like it, and for the price and for what you get, the toughness is insane. 12 psi is impressive on a non-beadlock rim, and not ever, as far as they would be folded, not ever did I once feel as if they were gonna unseat the rim. Never, like, never crossed my mind. Even pitching them on rocks, I never was worried, or in the back of my mind thinking, oh Lord, I don't want to unseat it and have to reseat the speed. Never did I have that concern whatsoever. Would I buy again? Hands down, yes. Hands down, yes. I think for the average guy that needs a tire that works really well off-road and handles and it also lasts really well on-road, and isn't just going to be a loud humming tire or a really obnoxious tire, this is for sure, what you would do. This is more quiet than my Open Country MT, far more quiet. And those lugs are far more spread apart. But when it comes to its stickiness, it's incredibly sticky, but it doesn't eat away like a soft compound tire you'd think, because they're soft and relative to using them on rock, but when you go to squeeze them, they're pretty firm, which is why they stand up to the highway. Again, this is just a quick update. Only 1,100 miles on them. I've actually got these guys up for sale. And then, like I said, as soon as those Patagonia MTs and 40s are worn down, they're gone, and I will be purchasing a set of 40-inch Mickey Thompson Baja Boss. Hands down, no questions about it. There's a bunch of other tires that are great, but for rock, for slate, for the jip we have out here, mud, all of it, I'm picking this tire. So, I hope that helps. If there's any questions, please comment below, ask, I'll give them to you. In a 3-day period, I know I didn't have them for a long period of time, but in a 3-day period, they saw everything. Mud, rock, flash, sand, riverbed, sleet. So I think I'm pretty versed in what they're capable of. I will add this. I couldn't imagine having this on a beadlock. Let me say it again. I couldn't imagine having this on a beadlock. So I was at 12 and I found them to be incredibly helpful. What happens if you run this at 8 psi like I do the 40s? And I feel structurally this is far more advanced than the Patagonia is. So I know how capable they are at 8 pounds. Imagine this tire at 8 pounds on a beadlock. I just think your mind's blown. If you think of other tires comparative, like the KM3, great tire. It's softer than this. It chews up faster than this. It chips really easily. And around here we can't use that because we have very sharp rock everywhere we crawl and climb, whether it's here in Texas or over in New Mexico and southern Colorado. It's all really jagged, and so you need a very firm tire. Well, this is it. I think for the price and what you're going to get when you're looking for a load range D tire, I don't think many of the other tires compare to this, and I believe you'll start seeing more people run this tire, and it'll become more popular across all genres, not just overlanding, not just crawling, not just the average four-wheel drive, but for everybody. I think this is the tire now that you can step to because it's flat design, and because it's aggressive nature and its durability. This is a tire you can put on your truck, and it doesn't really matter what you're doing that weekend. If you're taking the ATVs to go ride, if you're going in the snow, if you're going in the rain, if you're going to the beach, if you're going to crawl, if you're going overlanding, it doesn't matter. You are never going to be concerned with what you're doing, because all you're going to do, the one thing you're going to do is adjust tire pressure. That's what you're going to do. On my Jeep, I ran 37 pounds on the highway, and then on trail, 12 pounds. And it absolutely would blow your mind how much form and flex they had on a non-bleed deck rim and how much traction and cushion they actually gave you with it being a stiff sidewall tire. So anyway, let me get these guys back on. I hope that answers your questions. Yes, this is just a quick review. Yes, it was only an 1,100 mile review, and I'll post that for you guys. But any questions, comments, ask. And again, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It helps me. It helps me get more content out. Anything else you guys want to know about them, comment below. Again, thank you.